Hello, this is Cameron Snow, and we're continuing our video series on geological risking. And what I want to lay out here is the basic workflow for performing a geological risk assessment. So once again, I want to start with a bit of review, which is the basic idea behind geological risking. Once again, the basic idea is we identify the key components of the hydrocarbon system. We assign a probability to each one, and as you learned in the previous video, that is a marginal probability that we are assigning to each one. And then we are rolling that up to look at the joint probability to give us our P sub G or our chance of success. Okay, so here is the process that we will use going forward and that we'll work to. So the first thing that we are going to do is what we just talked about on the previous slide. We're going to evaluate the risk for each hydrocarbon system component. So we are going to walk through each of these, and we are going to determine what is the marginal probability of each of these. And we are going to then roll those up and evaluate the joint probability to get that for our prospect as a whole. Now, one of the things that we'll talk about going forward is why it is critical that we do this in a consistent manner and that we try to, impose a framework on our risking. But we will cover that in more detail later, but that is step one, is evaluating the risk component for each hydrocarbon system component. The next step is we are then going to evaluate the range of volumetric outcomes for each component. So we are going to look at, what is the range for our area, our thickness, our porosity, our saturation, and so on. So we are going to look at that, and we are then going to, once we have that range of outcomes, we are then going to combine our risk assessment and our volumetric assessment through a Monte Carlo simulation. And then we're going to add those results to our exploration portfolio, our database of exploration opportunities. And that is the basic workflow that we're going to use. So, there are really only two things that you have to do, and then the software and the system is going to do the rest for you. You need to accurately assess and consistently assess the risk for each hydrocarbon system component, and then you need to evaluate the range of volumetric outcomes. And then once you've done that, this part will be essentially done for you if you have a good exploration system. All right, so that's the workflow that we're going to apply. In our next step, we're going to look at how you can assign the marginal probability for each hydrocarbon system component.